I enjoy hearing how others manage and organize their lives. And as a single person, living an organized life is important to my peace of mind. I know there are modern ways of keeping on track, but I'm still pretty old school. Here are 5 ways I stay on top of things. I like having all my important information in one place for ease of access. It started off as a home management binder. I would keep information on my house projects and maintenance. That would include contact information for contractors, paint swatches, and so on. But then I added things like emergency contacts, bill payment information, copies of my important documents. Now it even includes my wish lists and future goals and plans. I use dividers for the different sections. Having a life management binder helps me to stay organized. If I need to repaint my living room and remember the color I used previously, there it is. And if my printer cartridge finishes, I can easily put my hand on the reference number to reorder it. It also gives me an idea how long a printer cartridge usually lasts, and so I can budget for it even before it finishes. I use my life management binder as a reference tool. Having important information available is invaluable in times of need. In the event of an emergency, this is something I would take with me to have my important documents and contact information close at hand. Sometimes I keep a bit of emergency cash there as well. For each important category of my life, I have a paper file with more extensive information and any documents that I need to store in hard copy. I have my bank account and credit card information, utility bills, home and car documents, annuities and insurance, work and tax information, medical records, and so on. I file and keep all important documents for the recommended period. With each new year, I go through my documents and see if there's anything I can discard or anything that I need to update. I used to store all my bank statements, but now many of them are available online, so those folders are much lighter. In each folder, I have a separate file for different institutions and categories. I also have a miscellaneous file where I store appliance receipts and warranties and any temporary documents that don't require their own category. I've never liked looking for things. That stresses me out. So I like to have everything in order and give each item its own place. Also, as a single person, I'm quite cognizant that if I get sick or when I die, someone is going to have to go through those documents. So I want to make things as easy as possible. There was a time when bills were being delayed in the mail, and I would have a vague idea that a bill was due, but I would have to check my records to see when last I paid it. Then I found a bill payment schedule online, and that really simplified my life. Now many bills come by email, but because I batch my payments, I like paying them on a Monday. I prefer to keep track of them myself. So at the beginning of each year, I enter all my bills, the dates when they're due, and the frequency of payments. I have things like water rates, electricity, internet, house insurance, car insurance. So electricity is due every 2 months. So in the column on the left, I enter the day when it's generally due. And on the right, we have the months, and I put an X under each month when that bill is due. And as I pay the bill, I circle it and I shade it in. It's quite satisfying. We all have lots of bills to pay, and keeping on top of your payments can help you avoid late fees and disconnections. I love using Excel spreadsheets, and I have one for my income and one for my expenses. For my expenses, I enter the date, the transaction, and the amount, and at the bottom of the spreadsheet, I have the total that I've spent to date. I use this spreadsheet to reconcile my credit card statements every month, and at the end of the year, I have my total expenses for the year. I can also divide my expenses by category so I can track them for my following year's budget. It also helps me when I want to remember when last I paid a particular bill and how much I spent. I like to keep about 5 years worth of spreadsheets. Then I have my income spreadsheet. I work as a freelance teacher and translator. At the end of the month, I prepare invoices where required, and on my spreadsheet, I enter the date, the client, and the amount, And then I have a separate column where I enter the amount actually received. I have a student who pays every 2 months and a client who deducts taxes. So I like to see the actual amount received and the date. At the end of each year, I compare my income and expenses. There have been years when my income was low and my expenses were high, for instance, when I needed to do house repairs. When that happens, I can reduce my expenses the following year to play catch up. Tracking my income and expenses allows me to put checks and balances in place. Google Calendar has changed my life. It's clear, practical, and it sends me notifications. At the start of every new year, I schedule in my important dates for the year. This includes birthdays, anniversaries, due dates for any projects I'm working on, recurring events like rent payment, my routines like my aqua jogging. Every week I get my weekly schedule and add any appointments, events, or deadlines. Anything I need to remember, I just have to let Google know, and it's easy for me to stay organized. As I get an appointment or a meeting request, I put it in my calendar right away. In most cases, I set an alarm on my phone as well. So if I have an appointment at 11 and need to leave home at 10:30, I send myself a reminder at about 10 so I can get ready and be on time. For my classes, I schedule not only class time but my preparation time, and then I set an alarm for when I need to actually connect to Zoom or Google Meet. To spice things up a bit, I love using different colors for different types of events. I know there are more sophisticated tools out there, but for now, I'm pretty happy with the systems I use. What's your favorite organization tool? Let me know if you enjoy videos like these. I have some other organization tips that I could share if it's something that you're interested in. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. See you soon.